Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into the hidden world of endocrine disruptors. We're talking about how totally normal, everyday products might be secretly tanking your energy, messing with your mood, and really just impacting your overall health. To figure this out, we're pulling from a really fascinating mix of sources today. We've got clinical insights from the Haas Wellness Center, some passionate grassroots discussions popping off in the Lemonade wellness community, and we're comparing all of that directly with official regulatory guidelines from the FDA.
Okay, so let's jump right into this incredibly common mystery. Millions of people out there are walking around feeling inflamed, tired all the time, just totally foggy. Maybe they're struggling with getting decent sleep, or stubborn weight that won't budge, or these wildly unpredictable moods. Yet, they go to the doctor, get blood work done, and, drumroll, they're told their lab results are perfectly normal. Honestly, it is so frustrating to know deep down that something is off in your body, but you just can't get a clear diagnosis on paper.
To understand exactly why this is happening, we're going to follow a clear roadmap in this explainer. First, we'll cover the hidden hormone crisis. Then, look at those sneaky, everyday endocrine disruptors and the symptoms of hormonal imbalance. After that, we'll check out the FDA's stance on parabens, explore root cause holistic care, and finally, we'll wrap up with some really simple, non-toxic lifestyle swaps.
All right, jumping into part one, the hidden hormone crisis.
You've got to hear this staggering number from the Haas Wellness Center. Research shows that we currently have 10,000 times the level of phthalates in our bodies today compared to just a single decade ago. I mean, 10,000 times. That is absolutely wild. These are chemicals we're just passively absorbing from the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the water we drink every single day. It's actually gotten to the point where mothers are passing these accumulated toxins right onto their babies, from conception straight through to delivery and nursing.
Now, as you can probably guess, this massive chemical accumulation, it's not exactly without consequences. According to our sources, this heavy toxic load is directly linked to an epidemic of low testosterone and just general hormonal chaos that's affecting people of all ages. It's tanking libido in both men and women, and it's basically fueling a massive market for prescribed hormone replacements. But it really begs the question, where exactly is this massive chemical load actually coming from?
Well, let's find out in Section 2, Sneaky Everyday Endocrine Disruptors.
So the absolutely crucial concept to grasp here is what an endocrine disruptor, or EDC, actually is. Think of them as natural or man-made chemicals that essentially pull off cellular identity theft. You see, your endocrine system relies on very precise chemical messengers, your hormones, to regulate everything: your mood, your sleep, your metabolism, your reproductive health. EDCs swoop in and they either mimic your natural hormones, completely block them from doing their job, or just scramble the signals altogether. And the crazy part? These culprits are hiding in plain sight. Take BPA, for example. We all know it's in plastic bottles, but did you know it's heavily concentrated in the thermal paper of the grocery receipts we touch all the time? Then you've got parabens lurking in your daily lotions and shampoos. Phthalates, they're often hiding out under the catch-all word fragrance in your favorite candles and perfumes. And PFS, those notorious forever chemicals, they're just chilling in your non-stick cookware and even your tap water. You could literally be exposing yourself to all of these before you even step foot outside your house in the morning.
But, it's not just the chemicals in our products. Our sources out of the wellness community point out something really interesting. Our daily behaviors act as disruptors too. And man, this is where a lot of us are guilty. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach? That can severely spike your cortisol, which is your main stress hormone. Staring at the blue light from your phone while you're scrolling in bed, that suppresses your melatonin and totally wrecks your sleep. Even pushing yourself through those intense HIIT workouts without proper recovery can majorly stress out your adrenal glands, throwing your estrogen and progesterone completely out of whack.
That brings us to Section 3, Symptoms of Hormonal Imbalance. When your endocrine system is just under constant, relentless attack, you might start experiencing this messy cocktail of overlapping symptoms. Let's say you have high cortisol. That brings on the anxiety and the terrible sleep. Combine that with low testosterone, which brings profound heavy fatigue. Toss in estrogen dominance, which is heavily triggered by those chemical xenoestrogens we were just talking about, and suddenly you're dealing with stubborn weight gain, bloating, and brutal mood swings. Because all these symptoms overlap so heavily, it's like a giant puzzle. It makes it incredibly hard to pinpoint the exact root cause, which, going back to our earlier point, is exactly why those standard lab tests often come back looking completely normal.
Okay, let's shift gears for a minute and look at Section 4, the FDA stance on parabens.
With so much alarm bells ringing in the wellness space, it's really important to look at the official federal perspective here. According to the FDA's website, the agency states this very clearly. At this time, we do not have information showing that parabens, as they are used in cosmetics, have an effect on human health. They point out that parabens are basically just a family of related chemicals used as preservatives. Their job is to prevent the growth of harmful bacteria and mold, essentially keeping products safe for consumers to use.
So we are really looking at two very different worldviews here. On one side, wellness advocates are waving red flags, warning that these parabens absorb directly through the skin, mimic estrogen, and disrupt vital hormone signals. But on the flip side, the FDA maintains that parabens are necessary and safe tools to prevent dangerous mold and bacteria. It's also super important to understand how the FDA regulates this stuff. Under the law, cosmetic products and ingredients, with the exception of color additives, do not actually require FDA approval before they go on the market. The FDA basically steps in after the fact, if reliable scientific info shows a product is harmful when used as directed.
Given those contrasting viewpoints, let's look at Section 5, Exploring Root Cause Holistic Care.
So if you're the one suffering from these unexplained, overlapping symptoms, what do you actually do? Well, according to clinical sources like the Haas Wellness Center, the answer lies in root cause integrative care. This approach zooms out. It looks at the whole person rather than just handing you a one-size-fits-all prescription to suppress one specific symptom. Let's say you have migraines, chronic fatigue, and gut issues. Integrative care asks why the body is struggling so much in the first place, examining structural issues, nutritional deficiencies, and that environmental toxic burden all at the exact same time.
Navigating this usually follows a really specific roadmap. It starts off with a deep dive into your unique personal history, stuff like, when did these symptoms actually start? How's your sleep quality? From there, it moves into a functional evaluation, which could mean very specific non-standard lab work or structural physical exams. Then, you sit down and set clear, realistic goals. Finally, the practitioner designs customized therapies for you. This might involve nutritional detox protocols to clear out those EDCs, chiropractic adjustments, or specific lifestyle strategies to finally lower your body's inflammatory triggers.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 6, Simple Non-Toxic Lifestyle Swaps. The absolute best news here is how incredibly easy it is to reduce your exposure, starting right in your own kitchen. By just swapping out that old plastic food storage for glass, ditching those scratched-up non-stick pans for some classic cast iron or stainless steel, and using a high-quality water filter instead of buying cases of plastic water bottles, you are immediately cutting off a massive daily source of endocrine disruptors. It's a game changer.
You can easily clean up your beauty and home routines too. Instead of spraying air fresheners or perfumes that are just loaded with undisclosed synthetic fragrances, you can opt for natural essential oils. Just take a second to read the labels on your daily lotion or deodorant to make sure they're paraben and aluminum-free. And honestly, this one blew my mind a little. You can swap out synthetic polyester clothing. Because polyester is essentially wearable plastic treated with chemicals that absorb right into your skin when you sweat. Try swapping it for breathable natural fibers like organic cotton, linen, or bamboo.
Finally, dialing in a few behavioral micro-habits can dramatically stabilize your whole system. Having a protein-rich breakfast before you pour that first cup of coffee, that prevents those massive morning cortisol spikes. And there's this great habit called burping your house. Funny term, I know, but it just means opening your windows for 10 to 20 minutes a day to ventilate the indoor air pollutants and VOCs that are literally off-gassing from your furniture. Prioritizing 7 to 9 hours of screen-free sleep works wonders to protect your melatonin. Oh, and opting for email receipts instead of grabbing that BPA-coated thermal paper at the checkout, it's such a tiny change, but it has a huge impact over time.
So, as we wrap up this explainer on the invisible chemical world around us, I want you to really think about it. Knowing what is hiding in your kitchen cabinets and your daily routines right now, what is one everyday habit you're going to swap out today to reclaim control of your hormone health?